Hi, I'm Christine. How to make Prefelt. And what is Prefelt anyway? Prefelt is partly made felt. So the topic of this tutorial is how much halfway is enough and how much is too far. The pinch test is how we know. You pick up your surface and give it a pinch, and if the wool comes up, it still isn't felted. So first of all, I'm going to tease out with my fingers this beautiful dyed wool merino top. Then I'm right-handed, so with my right hand, I grab onto a section of wool and just pull it gently out. So what I end up with on the sheet there is a row where the top of it is all in line. It's blunt at the top, but at the bottom it has a feathered effect. Now the feathered effect enables the wool I'm putting on top now to connect in. That wool, as soon as it's anywhere near other wool, it's going to connect. There are little scales all the way up the fibre of the wool. The finer the wool, the more quickly that's going to happen. As I'm laying this out now, I'm kind of looking for where there might be some gaps. Having the blue cloth underneath is helpful because I can see it coming through. Another way is just to pick it up and hold it up to the light and see where there are some holes that need filling. I think of this as dry felting. It's amazing how much a piece of wool will all start to behave like it's heading towards a felting process, to the extent that I can pick it up just like I am now. See, there's a few little holes there, and we might choose to put some more wool on, but in fact this time I'm just going to pat it a little bit more, and there we are. We are ready to add some water. Now through this whole process of pre-felting, I'm only using cold water. Only cold water. Now I saw someone else do this and I thought it was a great idea. So I'm just picking up the soap and dribbling on some soapy water this way, rather than having soapy water previously made. I'm also using olive oil soap, which has a different pH level that doesn't create too many suds. But I'm saying no there because that has far too much water in it. If you have too much water, the wool fibres just can swim past each other and they will take ages to felt. We want it wet, but not like a swimming pool. And when we wet it, we can also see where there are a few more gaps. So I have filled in those gaps. Today I'm going to use a piece of bubble wrap, and I am pushing that down to push the water through all of it. I could also have used some nylon tulle or net curtaining. Now a trick I also saw someone else do was to add a little bit of water to the top of the bubble wrap, and what that will do is make my hands slide over the top of it easily. There's a little bit of soap there too, which is a little bit misleading. The soap also helps me glide my hands over the top of it. And now this is the sped up version. So I am going to be just rubbing with my hands about how I would be washing a baby or a toddler. Not heavy-handed, definitely not heavy-handed. And this is only a little piece, so I just keep turning it so that I am going to be massaging it from all different directions. And already I can take off that bubble wrap. And I'm also using a little piece of bubble wrap as my tool here. Another tool that I like to use is a bread bag. It's just the right amount of plastic. It's a fairly lightweight plastic, and it just is really good for this stage where you are trying to be very gentle. This is a little tool that another felt maker, Judith, showed me it's just a piece of polystyrene wrapped in a bit of bubble wrap. Please subscribe to my channel. It would be fantastic if you did. Now, I'm being quite thorough here today, showing you just how much work I'm doing on this. It isn't a case of just throw it together. We are felting it quite a long way along the process. So again, what I'm not doing here is using any heat. No heat, no hot water at this point. And that action kind of defers the felting process. The bubble wrap has an amazing effect on wool, and it moves just enough to be massaging those little fibres really beautifully. And again, I'm going in every single direction. Now, as we go along, you will see me trying to manipulate the edge a little bit. See that bright yellow edge? It wants to stick up. So the reason it's doing that is because while I think I'm being thorough, I haven't attended to that little piece enough. And you can get your piece back as a square or straight just by focusing on any bits that are uneven. They will felt down. So bits of it are more felted than others. I love this technique. I've seen others do. Just wave it around a little bit, wave the work around a little bit, and you watch, you can see it almost felt before your very eyes. Not between your eyes, before your eyes. So the end is in sight. Now don't go away, because I've got an extra little tutorial at the end of this. It's really helpful. So now we go into dropping. Dropping felt is always a good idea, but I don't want to go too far, and that's as far as I'm going. See close up, you can see it's still very woolly and thready. It's not all smooth. How to make a pre-felt string. This can be handy for all sorts of things, but if you are trying to make a piece of Nuno felt and you want to show a stem or a long line, this is a great way to do it. Felted string or felted cords are fantastic for lots of things. Wool is so strong when it's felted. So you can see I've taken that wool top and I just keep dividing it, and then I just take a little bit at a time and rub it between my hands. I'm doing this dry, it's not wet. This works quite well as something for wet felting. And in a way, we're spinning it because I didn't start off with it all in one piece, but if I just lie one piece over another and rub it between my hands, it works out. So you can make your little piece of pre-felted string as long or as short as you want. And this can be added to a project. So that's why we do pre-felting. The other main reason to do pre-felting is that it just saves you a lot of time. And there it is. So it's not completely felted, but it isn't not felted either. It's just a little bit felted. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to next time and hope you do too.